Hi everyone, and welcome to week 22 of my midweek musings for my Mounjaro journey. My name's Ginger, and this is my channel, Ginger Goes GLP-1. Those of you who saw my video from this morning, I was talking about different ways of doing a protein coffee, and I'd like to carry on that theme a little bit here today for this week's midweek musings, just to sort of go through some of the basics and some things that we all know about Mounjaro and what we need to do to be able to be successful on this journey. But I just really want to hammer it home that it's not as hard as maybe we think it is sometimes. And also, I would like to say that I'm doing this as a bit of a commitment because I am the world's worst person when it comes to consistency, although I am learning that on this Mounjaro journey. But yeah, overall, I haven't been very consistent with sticking to things, with doing things, with making promises to myself and following through on them. So today, I just want to go through a couple of things and see if there's anybody who would like to join me for a period of consistency, of doing something routinely every day for the next 31 days. Okay, so if you've been on Manjaro for anything longer than about 1 week, let's say, even a few days, and you've been watching people's videos and you've been listening to things, you've been reading, you've been doing your research, you'll know that there are two things that are stand out when it comes to Manjaro that you have to sort of achieve to be able to succeed, so to speak. And those two things are protein and water. So they're not the only things that you need to do, but they are two of the most important things and they are the buzzwords. Like I said, if you've been doing this for anything longer than a week, you'll know you need to get your protein, you need to get your water in. Okay. Water's the solution to everything. If you're feeling sick, have some water. If you're feeling hungry, have some water. If you're not going to the bathroom, have some water. So those are something that we all know. These are the basics. So what do we need to do on a day-to-day basis? I'm not medical. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just giving you big sister advice or friend advice, if you want, on what I've looked up online. So anything I say, I'm going sort of by the research that I found online. I'm not just making this up, and I'm not telling you you have to do it. It's your journey. You're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your own decisions. Don't go blaming people on the internet. Okay, so when it comes to water, the standard out there that I can find across multiple sources seems to be about 2 litres of water per day. Okay, so just to put that in size context, this is a 2 litre bottle of water. So you should be consuming at least one of these a day or the equivalent. So buy a bottle once maybe and then fill it up, from your tap if your water's lovely where you are. Where I am, it doesn't taste that great, so I do use bottled water. But yeah, so a 2 litre bottle of water a day, and then you can decant that into smaller bottles. I've got a glass bottle that I carry around. It's a wide necked glass bottle, and that's 1 litre. So I fill that up twice a day and sometimes 3 times a day. And then I usually have like a squeezy bottle that I use when I'm on the treadmill or the exercise bike, just because I find that easier to sort of, suck from rather than pouring water all over myself. So yeah, 2 litres of water, that seems to be the standard measure that's out there to try and do that. So I would say before I started Manjaro, I was doing about 8 ounces of water a day, maybe. Some days I don't even think I would have any water at all. I would carry a water bottle around with me, and at the end of the day, I'd be like, oh, I haven't even drunk this. I'll put it back in the fridge. I do drink coffee. I love coffee. I'll have the very occasional Diet Coke or can't think what else I would drink, ginger beer or something like that. But water and coffee are my kind of go-to drinks. Coffee, as you know, is a diuretic. So even though you're getting the fluid with the coffee, it's pushing it through your body and out again. But anyway, so that's enough about water just for now. The second thing is protein, probably one of the more important things that you need to make sure that you're covering. Any weight loss diet that you do where you are having rapid weight loss, you are going to run the risk of, losing muscle mass. I think I covered that in a video a couple of episodes ago. So you are going to lose protein. You are going to lose muscle mass. But the way that we can try and do that while we're doing this Mounjaro journey is to make sure that we're consuming enough protein in a day. So the protein is there to help fuel the muscles, give them something to use, and they're full of amino acids. And anyone who was watching my video from this morning will know that when I was talking about collagen protein, that collagen doesn't count as much as regular protein, because a lot of collagen is missing one of the amino acids. I've Googled it a little bit more now, and the one I recommended this morning, or the one I use, is this WellGuard collagen protein. Now, this one is missing the tryptophan. That is the last one of the amino acids that make it a complete protein. So when you are adding in the other proteins, that makes it a complete protein. So I use whey protein to mix in with my collagen. So it's my protein coffee video that I put out earlier that I kind of go into that a little bit. So I did do a bit more research just so I'd be able to speak to it a little bit better than I did this morning. So when it comes to protein, how much protein should you be having? Again, opinions vary on the internet, and that it can be quite controversial because there's a lot of vegan commentators that say that you don't need as much protein as people say you do. I can't speak to that. All I can speak to is, again, I've gone to some quite reliable sources, the NHS, the NIC, I think it is, and I looked at an Australian website as well. And it seems to be, if you can get 0.8 grams of protein per kilo of weight, so a kilo is 2.2 pounds, up to 2.25 grams of protein per kilo of weight. That would be more for bodybuilders. Then you're going to get enough protein in the day. So for the average person, that's going to be somewhere, if you're sort of 5'5" upwards, maybe, that's going to be somewhere between 65 grams of protein per day, up to, I think it was like 190 grams of protein per day, something along those lines. So yeah, that's quite a lot of protein. And even if you're at the lower end of that scale, 65 to 75, you're going to be helping to preserve your muscle mass. Now, me personally, I am 5'7". I am currently, how much is my weight at the moment? 204 pounds, 14 stone 8, or 92.6 kilos. And I average, on a good day, I average 100 plus grams of protein a day. That is not 100 grams of meat or chicken or whatever. That is 100 grams of protein. And if anyone that's got like a diet app, like Nutricheck or Fat Secret, or there's loads of other ones out there, you can download free ones. You can calculate how much protein that you're eating in a day. So a good benchmark would be to sort of aim for between, I don't know, 70 and 140 grams. That way you're covering your bases kind of, each end. And if you come somewhere in the middle, then you're doing okay. So what does that look like? What does 100 grams of protein look like? So you can break protein down into 30-gram servings. And the reason I say I have 30 grams in the morning is because there is some research out there that says your body can really only process 30 to 45 grams of protein per meal. So 30 times 3, and maybe some extra, like a protein pudding thrown in, you're going to be at least getting sort of your 100 grams. That's just a sort of like rough calculation that I've put together. For anybody that's new, that's something that you can aim towards. So I've just kind of come up with that just based on what I've read, do your own research, as I always say, you know, and come up with what's going to work out best for you. Maybe you would find 100 grams too hard to consume, especially if you're brand new and you're really struggling with suppression and you think you're never going to be able to do that. There's a couple of quick easy ways that you can do that. So I'll run through those little shortcuts at the moment, and then I'll show you some other options of being able to do it. So if you are brand new and, like I said, you can't eat very much and you're really struggling to get your calories up, it's not uncommon to only be able to sort of get 800 calories in when you first start because the suppression is so strong. But if you wanted to get 30 grams of protein in, you could have a protein shake. This is 18 grams of protein. You could combine it with some collagen. That is another 11 grams. So you'd be up to 29 grams. You could have some clear whey protein here. That's 21 grams for a scoop, and you could put that in your litre bottle of water and sip that throughout the morning, and you would get another 21 grams. So now we're up to about 50 grams of protein. You could then have something like a protein bar. That's 21 grams. Okay, cut that up into, I don't know, 10 bite-sized pieces and eat that through the day as you're going. I am not advocating for only eating sort of like these processed foods and protein shakes and things like that. What I am saying is if you are just starting your journey and you really are struggling to get like nutrition into your body, I would say focus on protein. And these proteins, even though they are processed, they're not whole foods, they are going to be fueling you. They're going to give you some calories for your body to be able to go on, but also more importantly, they're going to be giving you the protein that you're going to need. Okay. And if you're having the drinks like the protein shake or the protein water, you're getting your hydration in at the same time. So those are short-term solutions for the very beginning. Or if you're a hyper responder, I tend to be a hyper responder. So the first few days after I take my shot, my appetite is super low. So I do struggle to get my calories up on those days. It balances out over the week for me because I am able to eat more sort of days, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't worry about it too much, but I'm in a bit of a rhythm and a pattern, and I know how I can do that. But on a day-to-day basis, I do have at least one protein water, which is 21 grams per day. And then I'll just have like a couple of bottles of regular, just clear, pure water. Okay. So those are a couple of things. If you want to focus on a more whole food diet, which obviously is the gold standard, we all want to aim for, a whole food diet using real foods. There are ways of doing that. I've got a couple of things here. You know me, I'm very low tech, so I'm going to tilt the camera down so that you can see it because I still can't get to grips with editing. I know, I'm a loser, big L. So I'm just going to show you kind of like a couple of the things that I've got here to show you. Okay, so if I can move this around a little bit. So if you can see here, this is what I would consider like an average chicken breast. So this is 44 grams of protein. Okay, just in this one, I weighed it, I measured it, I put it in my my app calculator, and it comes out it's 44 grams of protein in this chicken breast. So you could cut that in half and have that in 2 meals if you're really not able to face a full meal. You could have one of these salmon fillets. There's 2 fillets in here. These are 25 grams each. Okay, so that's 25 grams you can get in just having one of those. This steak, it's 195 grams. That's kind of small for a steak. Most steaks that you buy in the shop are about 227 grams. This one is 195 grams. Again, I put this in the calculator, it comes out at 44 grams. So you could have half of that, 22 grams, So I do like ribeye. It has got this sort of bit of fat in it. That doesn't bother me. Some people on a Mounjaro journey aren't able to eat fat. It goes straight through them, gives them terrible sickness and diarrhea. So, be careful what you are eating. So maybe take it slowly in the beginning. Go for something like a rump steak or a sirloin steak where the fat is on the outside and you can cut it off. So that's just another thing. If you like yogurt and fruit, this is a lacto-free yogurt, and I can't find a high protein lacto-free yogurt in the UK. I'm sure they have them in the US, but I can't find one here. So this is actually quite low protein, but it's still 10 grams for a quarter of a pot. Okay, you could have that with some fruit, maybe sprinkle on some nuts and seeds and things like that if that's something that you like, or you could mix some protein powder with it and have like a bit of a pudding type thing. So you're getting the 10 grams and let's say half a scoop of protein powder, another 9 grams, that's 20 grams. Again, this is pea protein. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, if you're vegetarian, maybe you do eat yogurt and you could put some protein powder in there. I find this slightly grainy, but that's just me. I mean, you can experiment with different things. You can try different things, but this is really just to give you an idea of what you can do to sort of supplement your diet. Okay. Again, we've got like things like these high protein puddings. Lots of the grocery stores now have their own brands. I think this is a little one, 20 grams per pot. I tend to have this pot, I have to have it in 2 goes. It's just a little treat for me, and I only do this once or twice a week. But if you do have a sweet tooth and maybe you can stomach some sweet food rather than like savory, different people it affects in different ways. 20 grams of protein in this. And then you've got your basics like eggs. 2 eggs, that would be 14 grams of protein. So if you're a vegetarian that eats eggs, you could have 2 of these. Scramble them up. I don't know, do 3 at a time. Have half in the morning and then just have half at lunchtime. There are loads of different ways of achieving your protein goals. So all of this really is just to say, it's not as hard as we think it is, but sometimes we're not actually doing what we need to be doing. And I want everyone to have a really successful Mounjaro journey and to be able to sort of make progress as they go along, and really, get the value out of the Mounjaro, out of your journey, get your body strong, feel good, so all of these things. So what I'd like to put out there is March is round the corner. So I'm going to challenge myself to make sure that every day in March I'm having 2 litres of water and at least 90 grams of protein. So for me, that's no hardship because I'm probably already doing 100 grams of protein a day. But anybody that would like to join me on this challenge, I would say come on board. There are no rules to this challenge. If you want to drop out anytime, you don't want to participate, you think it's a stupid idea, whatever, that's fine. But for me, a little bit of accountability. I would like to be able to come back at the end of the 31 days and say, do you know what? Every single day in March, I drank my 2 litres of water, I ate my 90 grams of protein, and I'm feeling good. You can challenge yourself that one extra step further and say that you're going to do 30 minutes of exercise every day. I was up this morning at 6 a.m, not voluntarily. I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep. So I got up and I did 45 minutes on the treadmill and I did 20 minutes on the exercise bike. So I don't know if I can commit to exercising every day, but I'm definitely going to say I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. So for me, I am committing to 2 litres of water, 90 grams of protein, and exercising 3 days per week. So if you would like to join me for my March challenge, who's in? March challenge, anybody? Then maybe leave an emoji down in the comments. So there's a couple of different water emojis. There's an egg emoji, and then there's beans emoji if you're a vegetarian, or vegetarian or vegan. So if you would like to join me, put a little emoji down. I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm not going to track you. I'm not going to ask you to put in your results. I will at the end of the 31 days say whether I've been successful. And I would encourage you to put down in the comments at the end of the 31 days if you have been successful as well. It's consistency for me. It might be a way for you to be consistent as well. So, you know, anybody who wants to jump on board, please do so. Um, what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, no, I think that's about it for today, really. I've kind of gone on. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this. I hope this is a little bit of more insight to anybody that's struggling or anyone that's brand new and doesn't really know what they're doing or feels like they don't know what their targets are or you know, they haven't done maybe enough research like me. I jumped straight into the pen and then kind of did a bit more research afterwards. You know, this is just a little friendly challenge for March, 31 days. Be consistent, be committed, and share it amongst your peers. You know, we're all here, we're all supporting each other. I see you in the comments, liking each other's comments and commenting and, you know, giving advice and things like that. And I think that's lovely. I think that's great community. So, my name's Ginger. This is my channel, Ginger Goes GLP. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you want to like and subscribe, please do. Leave me a comment. That really helps me. But I will see everybody again on Saturday or Sunday. See, no commitment, no consistency. Saturday or Sunday for my weigh-in video to see how I have done in total for week 22. Thanks everybody for joining me today.